Okay, so the minimum insertion depth on this seat post is about 70 millimeters. So that's very consistent with the old rule of thumb that you want your seat post insertion depth to be at least 2 times the outside diameter of your seat tube. So in this case, this is this is going in an old school 1-inch type seat tube, so the outside diameter is a little less than 35 millimeters, so that's about right. 70 millimeter insertion depth. Now, I may or may not, this seat tends to ride a little higher than most typical seats. It's a leather seat, so sometimes if it's a race day and it looks like it's going to be rainy, I may swap it out for another seat that rides a little lower. If I do that, I have to raise the seat to maintain the distance between my, the riding height of my leg and the pedals. So I can't cut it down just right to 70, so I'm giving myself 100 millimeters of slop instead of 70. And then the pipe cutter there, I'm just going to use a pipe cutter to do it. You can get that at your local box store. I think they call them conduit or maybe copper pipe cutters. I don't know, but you could definitely use them to cut conduit and certainly aluminum pipes, no problem. So I'm going to cut it, and we'll reweigh and see what we. Okay, so prior to any modification, the entire seat post and seat assembly weighs about 820, 821 grams, which is quite a bit. Okay, the seat post is cut. Easily done. One thing I should mention about this is when you use that pipe cutter on an alloy stem, because the cutting blade on the cutter itself applies pressure, you screw down the pressure and then you rotate the cutting blade around the perimeter of the seat post, and that's how you cut it. But because the blade is so much harder than the alloy, when you do that, it's going to cause some deformation of your seat post at the point of the cut. Okay, so when you're done, if you had a really snug fit on your seat post, it may be too big at that little spot there. So what I did was I just took a couple of files. I had a couple of metal files, a circular one and a regular rat-tail bastard file, and I spent maybe 4 minutes filing it down until it fit in there, and now it fits perfectly. So the reason I use a pipe cutter is because I feel like it's more exact than a hacksaw and a much less effort, but then on the other hand, you do have to file it down when you're done. So, you decide. So let's see how much this thing weighs now. How much weight did we save? $772 grams. So, a little bit of weight. I don't know that really makes a difference to me, but the bottom line is that's wasted material, so you may as well take it off the bike. Now, one word of caution here. I have a steel frame bike. This is an alloy tube. The rules of the game change if you have a carbon bike and a carbon seat tube, or a carbon seat post. I haven't missed very much with carbon, so you're on your own there. You're on your own with Google. So good luck. Hope this is helpful.